Family 2 figures, turns and rolling turns. At first glance, these figures appear relatively simple, but can challenge even top unlimited class pilots. Even the simplest turn has many elements for judges to consider. As with other Arresti families, the figures must be wind corrected to appear perfectly drawn when viewed from the standpoint of the judges. We'll start by looking at turns, also referred to as aerobatic turns, and then proceed to rolling turns. Here are examples of 4 different aerobatic turns: 90, 180, 270, and a full 360-degree turn. They can be flown either upright or inverted, and may be flown in or out at the pilot's option. How turns are drawn on the Arresti diagram is for convenience only and doesn't indicate a required or suggested direction. 90 and 270-degree turns cause the aircraft to end on a different axis than that on which it started, while 180 and 360-degree turns end on the starting axis. When exiting on the x-axis, the exit direction must agree with the Arresti diagram. For aerobatic turns, there are 3 distinct phases: the initial bank, the turn, and the ending bank. Let's look at each of these parts. For the initial bank, the pilot rolls the aircraft between 60 and 90 degrees from horizontal, with deviations penalized at 1/2 point per 5 degrees. The roll rate must be constant, with 1 point per rate change assessed. While this roll is being performed, the aircraft must remain on the established track line. Departures from the line require a 1/2 point per 5 degree downgrade. After the initial bank is complete, the pilot immediately begins the turn portion. During this turn, the established bank angle must be maintained throughout, 1/2 point per 5 degrees, and the rate of turn must remain constant, 1 point per change. Altitude must remain constant, with 1/2 point per 5 degrees deducted for deviations. Note that an aircraft turning away from the judges will appear to descend, and one flying toward the judges will appear to climb. The turn portion will continue until the aircraft has reached the prescribed exit heading. Deductions are 1/2 point per 5 degrees off the proper heading track. When the exit heading is reached, the pilot then immediately begins the ending bank by rolling the aircraft back to wings level while maintaining aircraft track, 1/2 point per 5 degrees. The rate of the ending roll must be the same as that of the initial roll, 1 point if they are different, as well as having a constant roll rate, 1 point per rate change. Here are examples of rolling turns. Rolling turns share some similarities with aerobatic turns. They may be flown to 90, 180, 270, or 360 degrees, either upright or inverted. Rolling turns may be flown in or out at the pilot's option, without regard to the Arresti drawing. In addition, the altitude, roll rate, and turn rate all must be constant as with aerobatic turns. In rolling turns, however, the rolls are integrated into the entire turn and may be the same direction as the turn, called inside rolls, or opposite the turn direction, referred to as outside rolls. Additionally, there may be some alternating combination of inside and outside rolls specified. The required rolls may be as little as 1/2 roll up to and including 4 full rolls. Let's look at deductions for rolling turns. 1 point deductions are applied if the roll rate changes, there are observed stoppages in a roll, or the rate of turn changes. Each instance observed receives a deduction. Judges can use various points in the rolling turn as an aid to judge whether or not the roll rate has been constant. Please see the discussion in Family 2, Rulebook page SCA-36, for a detailed explanation. Downgrades of 1/2 point per 5 degrees are applied for any of the following conditions: an altitude change, any portion of a roll not yet completed when the aircraft reaches exit heading, any portion of the turn remaining when the aircraft has completed the final roll, or roll reversal not done with wings level. In the case of alternating rolls, the pause at the reversal of direction must be minimal. When observing altitude, judges must keep in mind the apparent aircraft descent or climb as it travels away and toward the judges respectively. The rolling turn figure must be zeroed if the pilot performs a different number of rolls than that specified, or rolls in the wrong direction from the arrestee diagram. The pilot also receives a 0 if a snap roll is performed at any time instead of a standard aileron roll. This concludes Family 2, Turns and Rolling Turns. For more information, log on to mini-iac.com or arresteesystem.com.